Ozempic has been called Hollywood's worst kept secret. And it's true, Hollywood seems to be shrinking even more than usual.
People are doing Ozempic parties here in LA where they all do an Ozempic.
I went to lunch with like a girlfriend and she's like, I'm not really eating anything. I'm so nauseous. I'm on Ozempic.
What is this?
And everyone thinks they know why. I know Ozempic when I see it. Ozempic queen, one more victim of Ozempic. The Ozempic is Ozempicing. Gossip about whether or not someone has or hasn't lost weight using Ozempic is suddenly constant. This medication's only been around for 2 to 3 years at this point, but it's already baked itself into our culture. And not for its intended purpose. First, it was supposed to be a diabetes drug, then it was marketed for obesity, and now it's come to represent already skinny celebs getting skinnier. And this new rumor mill equals big bucks for big pharma.
Recently valued at more than $500 billion.
But up until now, the creators of these medications have been like, we do not condone the off-label use of our products. And society's been like, did you guys just wink? And they've been like, no, what do you mean? We do not condone the off-label use of our products. Today we're discussing the bizarre relationship between your favorite celebs and Ozempic. Inspired by an article that I read about the Golden Globes that just took place very recently. Just 8 seconds into the start of the 2025 award show season, Nikki Glazer, the host of the 82nd Golden Globes, dubbed the show Ozempic's biggest night.
And welcome to the 82nd Golden Globes, Ozempic's biggest night.
If you don't know what the Golden Globes are, it's this Hollywood award show that is sometimes referred to as Hollywood's Party of the Year. It celebrates the best of both film and television. Okay, I definitely feel like Party of the Year oversells it a bit when you look around the crowd. It's giving, I was paid to be here and I am politely waiting for this to be over. But anyway, the event attracted many of the world's biggest stars: Ariana Grande, Kylie Jenner, Nicolas Cage, Zendaya, Demi Moore, and more. And hey, it's no secret that ahead of some fancy award show, celebrities will often go to extreme lengths to look their best. I mean, this is the group that practically invented absurd diet hacks in order to look good for a particular event. The most recent example that comes to mind is Kim Kardashian toxically losing 16 pounds in 3 weeks in order to fit into Marilyn Monroe's dress.
And it didn't fit me. And so I looked at them and I said, give me like 3 weeks. And I had to lose 16 pounds to be able to fit this. But
near constant dieting is just part of the celebrity world, so it makes sense for Nikki to open up with Ozempic's biggest night. Although I guess it's a little weird because Jimmy Kimmel opened the Oscars 2 years ago with a very, very similar joke.
Everybody looks so great. When I look around this room, I can't help but wonder, is Ozempic right for me?
The question is, was the Ozempic joke the lowest hanging fruit for Nikki Glazer? Or was it part of Eli Lilly's sponsorship of the entire night? Yes, Eli Lilly, one of the 2 biggest names in GLP-1 medications, sponsored the 2025 Golden Globes ceremonies. The question we should be asking ourselves here is, why does this Hollywood red carpet event have a pharmaceutical company known for making a certain prescription drug as its main advertiser? Because I thought these guys said this drug was for diabetes and obesity only, and that they don't condone the off-label use of the medication.
The maker of Mounjaro and Zepbound, writing diabetes and anti-obesity medications were not studied for, are not approved for, and should not be used for cosmetic weight loss.
Welcome to the 82nd Golden Globes, Ozempic's biggest night.
So this partnership seems a little bit odd. She didn't even take a breath between the words 82nd Golden Globes and Ozempic. Now Lilly, formerly known as Eli Lilly, doesn't actually own Ozempic. That belongs to Novo Nordisk along with Wegovy. Lilly owns Zepbound and Mounjaro. But despite the fact that Ozempic was not even created for weight loss, it's a diabetes medication, in just a few short years, the word Ozempic has already become slang, not only for this entire class of GLP-1 medications, but also for rapid celebrity weight loss. If we see that a celebrity's lost weight quickly or dramatically, if we see a celebrity who looks particularly skinny, we're already asking ourselves en masse, are they on Ozempic? This is a medication that somehow baked itself into our culture already. And I'd never really questioned it before. I mean, we are obsessed with celebrity weights and celebrity bodies. But moments like this weird sponsorship do make you wonder, okay, well, how much of this is natural and how much of this is a massive ad campaign? Did these companies have a hand in this massive cultural phenomenon? Advertising is out of control these days, as evidenced by this weird Hollywood award ceremony and GLP-1 medication alliance the line is just very blurred between advertising and reality right now. And the 2025 Golden Globes were the perfect microcosm of this strange new world that we're living in. See, Ozempic's done an incredible job making themselves the talk of the town when it comes to celebrity weight loss. We see one, we think the other. That is a dream situation for someone selling a product. And from what I've seen during this Hollywood award ceremony, somehow these medications managed to turn the spotlight on themselves. There's nothing secret about these drugs, and their prevalence inside and outside Los Angeles is elite. So much so that Lilly, the medication company that manufactures Zepbound, sponsored the CBS broadcast Sunday night. In addition to this sponsorship, which we'll talk more about later, and that Ozempic opening joke, the Golden Globes led to a flurry of articles like this. All the celebs linked to Ozempic after suspiciously gaunt Golden Globes red carpet. The Golden Globes kicked off Hollywood awards season Sunday night, but the real winner of the night was Ozempic. GLP-1's back in Hollywood spotlight at 2025 Golden Globes. Not to mention tons of articles that just quoted Nicki's opening line, Ozempic's biggest night, in their headlines, resulting in tons of free publicity for these drugs. This Yahoo article, how weight loss drugs showed up at the 2025 Golden Globes, details all the ways these GLP-1s were absolutely baked into the evening's events. Here are all the ways, subtle and not so subtle, that weight loss medications and conversations made their way into the big night. Of course, everything starts with speculation and gossiping over celebrity bodies, which has for some reason been historically a national pastime. And hey, I'm guilty, okay? I love a good transformation story. I find it interesting when a celebrity transforms or gets really fit for a role, but I definitely think that as a society, we take it a little too far. Speculating on the weights of celebrities seems to have been single-handedly keeping those magazines that you see at the checkout at Walmart in business for like 30 years. So of course, the Golden Globes were really no different. Viewers were quick to point out how many stars looked noticeably thinner than usual, leading to rife speculation about whether they've jumped on the Ozempic bandwagon. Has everyone else noticed that for the last few years, online reporters have been slowly sliding back toward that catty 2000s tabloid vibe? Unfortunately, since the rise of this medication, whenever a celebrity looks different, it's a game of they look different. It's probably Ozempic. And I mean, in reality, it does seem like an awful lot of celebrities are losing weight, and many of them have been open about the fact that they, in fact, use Ozempic or something like it.
And I did it hormonally.
Hormonally.
Yeah, it was
not Ozempically.
Everybody thinks it's Ozempic. It's not. It's something else. Everybody lying. Everyone's like a smaller portion. Like, shut the f up.
Right.
You're on Ozempic.
Like, if someone won't talk about what they're doing to lose weight, then you know it's because...
Or they come up with something, oh, I have a new trainer.
Yeah.
But this has led to something that one magazine called Ozempic accusing, where some celebrity loses weight, they say, I've lost weight naturally, and then the internet accuses them of having used Ozempic. But all this stuff has really dragged us back like 10-15 years. For a good decade there, it was uncute to talk about a celebrity's weight aggressively in the media. It never stopped entirely, and it definitely still continued on social media, but in the media, in tabloids, in online reports, it became kind of inappropriate to pick a celebrity's body apart. Until now, we are fully back to dissecting celebrity bodies under the guise of, are they or aren't they on Ozempic? And this Golden Globes discussion is the perfect example. Let's take a look at the suspiciously gaunt Golden Globes commentary. Weight loss and plastic surgery specialists speculated that several A-list stars, including Nicole Kidman, Selena Gomez, Demi Moore, and Cynthia Erivo, had been taking Ozempic or other blockbuster weight loss meds like Wegovy and Mounjaro. They noted tauter faces, thinner arms, and more pronounced collarbones, which are highly suggestive features of weight loss. See, we're already really getting into specifics, and I feel like that's something we haven't been doing as much and we should maybe leave in the past. We went far down that road once and it damaged an entire generation of young women. Selena Gomez, a champion of self-love and body positivity, flaunted her naturally petite frame in an off-the-shoulder Prada gown. She was noticeably slimmer at Sunday's awards ceremony, but experts doubt the star, who has been open about her ongoing battle with lupus, is taking a medicine like Ozempic. Dr. Dennis Schimpf, a board-certified plastic surgeon, told DailyMail.com that Miss Gomez is definitely thin, but she isn't wasting or gaunt, which is normally kind of the giveaway. Hers would be the hardest to know for sure. I would be surprised if she had done it just because of her other medical problems and her starting weight not being really heavy. I love the little underhanded compliments. It's just so unnecessarily bitchy. This champion of body positivity would never take Ozempic, would she? But that one was the mildest one. The expert seemed to hold back due to her medical diagnosis, but he goes a lot harder for everyone else. Miss Kidman's backless dress revealed some loose skin, which could be due to aging, but is more likely a result of rapid weight loss from GLP-1 medication. Okay, I know they're celebrities and they're used to it, but imagine just going out somewhere, okay? You're going to an event, you think you look nice, and then someone has analyzed your body to the point of noticing that you have looser, I don't know, what's he talking about, the arms? To claim that any feature of her body showed in these photos is a feature of Ozempic is just like, kind of ridiculous. My favorite part about this is that it's not completely obvious what they're even talking about. Like, you literally have to stare at the image to be like, oh, is that what they're referring to? And we're also talking about a 60-year-old woman. Like, it just feels weird. Next, it was Demi Moore's turn, who was ironically winning an award for The Substance that night. Miss Moore's collarbones are very prominent with no visible fat, and her neck tendons are noticeable, indications that she may have used a GLP-1 medication. And overnight, we are suddenly back to publicly analyzing and picking apart the neck tendons of celebrities. Plus, the expert added this. Her face looks good, but that can definitely be due to her injections. He added, the people who've lost dramatic weight, and especially with those weight loss drugs, it's almost like their head looks too big for their body. That has literally nothing to do with these GLP-1 medications. That's just you saying dumb stuff in order to be included in this magazine. The article continues on with more side-by-side before and afters of celebrity transformations from the Golden Globes, including Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande, who had their own weight loss controversies weeks ago during the premiere of Wicked. They also listed Kathy Bates, Kylie Jenner, and Mindy Kaling. So out of like the 200 people that were there were a handful of people that you could potentially single out and say maybe these people who lost weight were taking Ozempic. I don't really know if that's enough to justify calling the entire Golden Globes suspiciously gaunt, but yeah, there's already this sort of unholy matrimony between taking this medication and celebrity culture, which is mostly just because we are obsessed with celebrity transformations. We click. And though that's really not Big Pharma's fault, they are profiting from this speculation big time. But the fact that Eli Lilly sponsored this entire night adds such a weird layer to the whole thing, because as we'll discuss soon, these medication companies have explicitly stated that they don't want celebrities using it for this purpose. But this whole sponsorship thing makes it quite clear that that's not true, especially because while everyone was watching the award show, they were being hammered with advertisements for GLP-1s all night. During the first commercial break, audiences at home were served Weight Watchers' latest campaign, promoting the brand's clinical program, which offers registered dietitians, doctors, and GLP-1 prescriptions to members. And that wasn't at all the only weight loss drug ad. Throughout the entire broadcast, viewers were hit with commercial after commercial advertising these drugs. Multiple ads for Mounjaro, Ozempic, and Lilly's Zepbound all appeared during subsequent breaks. Man, I would have loved to see this. This would have been so absurd. Clearly, these medications want to create an association in your mind between Hollywood glam and their drugs. AKA, these companies want you to use their products for cosmetic purposes. They want that hype. They want you to look at these celebrities all glammed up and think to yourself, oh my God, if I had Ozempic, I could look like that too. They're trying to hit you with that classic emotional appeal of just take this and you could be beautiful too. But here's the most insane and disturbing part of the whole thing. While jokes about the Golden Globes being sponsored by these weight loss drug companies had already begun, it wasn't until near end of the broadcast that it was announced that Lilly, the company behind Mounjaro and Zepbound, actually sponsored it. So this whole thing was sponsored by these companies and they didn't tell you until the very end. This is sneaky as hell. Imagine how mad you guys would be at me if I made a video subtly, but not so subtly, plugging something, and at the end I just snuck in, oh yeah, this was sponsored by whatever. You know what I mean? Most people don't even watch things to the end. If they wanted to be honest and upfront, they'd put it at the beginning because, you know, you should know that you're being sneakily advertised to. Because the thing is, if you realize that one of these GLP-1 medications had sponsored the entire night, you're going to interpret everything so much differently. If a joke about Ozempic was cracked within the first 8 seconds, that might have you rolling your eyes. You might think, oh, that's a little bit messed up how they're advertising this. Isn't this a diabetes medication? Isn't there a shortage of this? And then while watching all the commercials, you'd be like, oh, that's kind of weird. That's really aggressive. But because they didn't reveal it until the very end, most people didn't know, and other people didn't realize until their brains had already processed the whole thing, that they were being sneakily advertised to. Not to mention, potentially the most important thing here, these guys clearly want to be associated with Hollywood weight loss transformations, with Hollywood beautiful people and bodies, which means that they want us to use it for cosmetic purposes, right? They don't want to just target people with obesity, they want to target people for cosmetic purposes. Clearly, I don't see what else it could possibly be. So then please, explain to me this ad that aired right before the 2024 Oscars.
Some people have been using medicine never meant for them. For the smaller dress or tux, for a big night, for vanity. But that's not the point. People whose health is affected by obesity are the reason we work on these medications. It matters who gets them.
Like, what kind of psychology is that? Is that like reverse psychology? Like what? How dare these glamorous, perfect, beautiful celebrities take our medication to look picture perfect, better than they've ever looked before on the red carpet? Tisk tisk. It's literally, you don't want none of this, Dewey.
Get out of here, Dewey. You don't want no part of this shit.
I'll get addicted to it or something?
It's not habit forming.
Like, given what we know now, the fact that they sponsored that night, isn't that the scummiest ad you've ever seen in your life? Not to mention, I found this interview with Eli Lilly about their sponsorship, and this is what they said. We also want to note that our commercials were focused on ensuring that patients receive the correct information on our GLP-1 medicines. Mounjaro and Zepbound are not for cosmetic weight loss, and we don't condone off-label usage of these medications. They literally just said that 2 days ago after sponsoring the Golden Globes. The absurdity to boldface lie like that is just so crazy to me. Marketing is so out of control that it actually creeps me out. Why are these companies so shady? You go to the lengths of sponsoring the Golden Globes and then claim that you're not trying to get people to buy it for cosmetic purposes after airing also the sketchiest ad of all time. Like, that's just insulting. And it actually starts getting you to be like, wait, well, how far does this go then? Did they seriously sponsor that opening joke? Why did so many news companies run with the Ozempic's biggest night line? Did they incentivize that? Do they actually want to be associated with not only celebrity weight loss, but people getting thin to the point of ill health? It just raises a lot of questions when you can't trust a word that they say. But safe to say that marketing is out of control at this point. But yeah, what these companies say and what these companies do often do not line up. And it's unfortunate that some of the biggest companies in the entire world are so dang deceptive when it comes to getting people to use their products. Anyway, I didn't even scratch the surface of this whole Ozempic topic. There's so much to talk about, so many things I didn't talk about, like even with like the celebrity things, and I'll talk about it in another video. I don't really have a firm opinion on GLP-1s yet. I'm super pro anything that helps someone change, but I'm also kind of wary of potential side effects that might come out down the line, which has historically been the case with any sort of weight loss medication that's popped up. Miracle cures tend not to be so miraculous as time goes on. And yeah, it sketches me out when these companies act like this. Like, would it kill them to just be honest? I don't even understand what the point of lying is at all. It's not illegal to sell this thing for that purpose, so why lie? Like, why add that layer? I don't get it. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.